and welcome to all you Scorpios out there. Welcome for the yearly horoscope, the year horoscope for 2013. I almost said 2012. 2013 for you Scorpios in general. What is going to happen and what kind of planets, as from Jupiter until Pluto, is going to transit which house for you, and what are the aspects? First of all, in traditional astrology, Mars is your ruler, and it's a good news to know that Mars hasn't got any retrogrades in 2013, so that's a good thing. That means that Scorpios will go straight forward, just they will keep going on, and not like last year in 2012 when there was a Mars retrograde in Virgo for quite a long time. So no, it's just for a lot of Scorpions it shows that it will be they are going to take their steps, and they're not going to take a step back. So that's good news. Another thing is that what is going to be important for 2013 for all of us, it's about huge opportunities and for expansion on different levels, of course, depending on your sign. So also for Scorpios, especially around the middle of the year, it's going to be a possibility to be expanding something that you've been wanting to do for years and years and years, and having that opportunity. Now, this has to do with two things. First of all, with Pluto-Uranus square. So still, the Pluto-Uranus square is still going on during the whole year of 2013. And an interesting thing is that Jupiter is going to play a huge role to trigger that Pluto-Uranus square. So, and that happens around May, June, July, August, that Jupiter is going to make a T-square. So it's going to oppose Pluto and square up to Uranus. But more about that in a minute. First of all, let's talk about what planets are there in your sign. That's Saturn. Now, Saturn will be in your sign for the whole year. And I think when Saturn is in someone's sign, so it's in your sign, it definitely means being a newborn, or being reborn in some kind of way. Being born again in this earthly world. So definitely for Scorpios a time to start new things. So you had Saturn last year in Libra for a big part of 2012. So you have been ending your cycles. You have been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. You have been trying to spot the blind spots. And now is the time to start all over again, and maybe with new relationships, maybe with new job, or maybe with new people around you. But definitely it's a new beginning. And it's a new beginning of hard work, because Saturn in your sign also does suggest that you really have to work hard to accomplish something. And I think Scorpios don't mind working hard, but Saturn is beautifully sextiling Pluto in your third house, so I think you will benefit hugely from that. And that happens around January, February, March, but also in September, that the Saturn is beautifully sextiling Pluto. So what is this about? Saturn and Pluto. Saturn wants the discipline and the hard work and the seriousness. So the seriousness is with you, actually, if Saturn is in your sign. You are careful to do the steps that you want to do, but you're doing them anyway. And sextiling with Pluto means power, means being effective, and that's in your third house. So I think a lot of Scorpio, if they do something with communication, whether it is being a negotiator at work, or being a writer, or being doing something like I'm doing, whatever you use your speech with, your communication, your thinking, this is all favored to communicate in a very powerful way. And that. They like to be seen as powerful, and they are. So that is for approximately the whole year. That is good energy, but by working hard, maybe going back to school, or you're going to learn something new, or you are going to teach others something new, and that is very good. That is very favored for you. Now, what else? That's the really, let's say, the really easy part or relaxing part of the chart. Now, the things that are more challenging is this Pluto-Uranus square. That's for everybody, but it doesn't have to be negative. So that Pluto in your third house, what I talked about, this, it could also mean, by the way, that a sibling is changing a lot or having a difficult time and is transforming in a kind of way. That's also another explanation of the third house. Or you're having struggles with a neighbor, could also be the case, but that's on another level. So this Pluto is squaring up to Uranus in your sixth house, which shows that it could be the case that your sixth house, your day-to-day work, your day-to-day routines, really are changing and are making your life out of the usual. So as Scorpios really don't like that, I think, most Scorpions, because they want their habits. Scorpio is very much a sign that likes habits, and when Uranus is in the sixth, it means that there's going to be nervousness, or there's going to be a shake-up when it considers your habits and your day-to-day routine. So try to embrace it and try to understand that it is needed, that to change some old habits in order for you to stay healthy, in order for you to do your job better, in a better way. And this is linked with your third house, that house of communication, that house of thinking. So maybe you have to learn something different. That's quite hard to do, but in the end will help you with having a very much more exciting job and a much more exciting day-to-day routine. And if you look at it that way, that it will bring in the positive. So what else? Jupiter has been last year, and still until the 27th of June, Jupiter will still be in Gemini. And so that's a bit the same as last year. It's in your 8th house, and it's very good. It's very beautiful to have Jupiter in your 8th house, especially for a Scorpio, because Scorpio is associated with the 8th house, and 8th house is about the transformations that we have to take in order to face our fears, also the house of intimacy. So a lot of Scorpios probably in a relationship with that significant other person, they have encountered more intimacy, more meaning through connecting with someone on a very deep level. So not only a sexual level, I associate that more with the 5th house. It could mean, of course, your sexuality, but I think it's a bit more than that. It's also that being with someone together and sharing each other's most intimate struggles, fears, and whatever. So it's more on a psychological level as well. And of course, to be able to do that, there has to be trust. And I think that's very good for a Scorpio. If a Scorpio can open up for someone special in their lives, because they can grow so much through that. And you will have been doing that for quite some time, and now it will just continue until so these opening ups for you, and this opening up of your heart for the first 6 months of 2013. Now, as from July, the end of June, it shifts into your 9th house, Jupiter, and it's a very exalted, content Jupiter. It's a very nourishing Jupiter in the 9th house. 9th house is all about our connections we have with people from abroad. It's about our higher education. It's about our higher connection with God, or with the cosmos, or with a connection with let's say having a vision of your life. So Jupiter is going to enter its own house actually in the 9th house. So expect that. If you are going to travel in 2013, you will, especially the second half of the year, you will have a lot of meaning, or get a lot of meaning by traveling. And this is going to oppose that Pluto-Uranus square that I was talking about around May, June, July, August. So it means that there is something coming to a fruition when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to higher knowledge and communicating it on a deep level and on a very strong level, but on a day-to-day basis. So it's a bit like, and it's an opposition. So it means that it can be challenging, but if you not trying to be the, let's say, someone who knows everything and the dogmas and so on, if you're not doing that, you can get a lot of recognition, and because of what your insights are. That Pluto in the 3rd means that you are researching something and you are definitely an expert on something. And Jupiter in the 9th shows that you can share it with other people, you can communicate it towards other people. Now Jupiter and Pluto are two ingredients that are so interesting when they are mixed, but it's in opposition, so it's a challenge. Now the mix of Pluto, of that enormous power and enormous transformative power, together with Jupiter, that is the one that gives us meaning in our life and the one that sees the connections, and the expansion. If you mix those two, it is sure that a lot of Scorpios will become very effective in their speech, in their thoughts, in their connecting with all there is. And that could mean many ways. That could mean work, but it could also mean with other people. Definitely, it also shows that opposition, that it could be, there's a tendency for power struggles. Why is that? Because, especially as I said, if you think it's my way or the highway, there is going to be definitely a power struggle with Jupiter opposing Pluto. People who are very egocentric and just listening to their own point of views, because this has a lot to do with views of you and views of other people. If you're going to do that, then I don't think there's much happiness in this aspect. But if you are really trying to help other people, not saving them, but just trying to inform them in a very humble way and in a very open way, and not with doing this with your own side, then there's something very big for you in 2013 and very powerful for Scorpios to accomplish recognition because of that. So it's a two-way traffic, and it's very challenging and very interesting, because Scorpios really do like power, and they really do understand it. So that's why I think that a lot of Scorpios can do well with this upcoming aspect. So what else? I'm just going to have a look. Neptune. Neptune is also doing great stuff in your 5th house, I guess. Yes, Neptune is in Pisces, so especially when you have planets between 1 and 6 degrees of Scorpio, you're going to have a trine with Neptune in your 5th. So you're going to be inspired as well. You're going to be creative as well. So considering the things that I just talked about, it could be very interesting. It could also mean that if you are single, that you are going to fall in love very deeply. With that Neptune in the 5th house, it's very romantic to have. So it's also nice. If you're having a relationship, it shows that you're going to do things together that are very playful, but also very, very romantic. And you know, to have some fun with, maybe to do some photography together, or going to the movies or something like that. Something with visualizing or pictures or whatever, because that's very Neptune-like, or acting. Maybe you're going on an acting course together, whatever. But again, an emphasis next year on that other person, that significant other person as well. Because there is going to be in your opposite sign, which is Taurus, there's going to be a solar eclipse again. It's very funny. Last year you had the solar eclipse in your sign, around 22 degrees of Scorpio. And now there's going to be a solar eclipse just the opposite sign, around 19 degrees of Taurus. So at the 10th of May, so there's going to be a new moon in that 7th house. So what does it mean? It means that last year you were committing yourself to yourself. And 2013 is more the year that you're going to commit yourself to another person. So when you are single, and it really shows that there is a lot of your opportunity to meet someone new around that period, around April, May, June, to really meet someone who's very significant for you, and who's going to shine for you actually. And if you are in a relationship already, it could mean that, let's say you have a good relationship, or is a good relationship, I mean that you respect each other and that you are helping each other to fulfill yourselves, and you know that you gain a lot of positive energy out of your relationship. If that is the case, I think it's going to get up a level. If you're having a really bad relationship, and if you're not being able to be yourself, and you feel you know, what's the word? You feel like this, and you feel as if it's more of the negative days than the positive days, there's a good chance that you're going to end that relationship around that time. So whatever it is, the purpose is always that it will be good for you to occur and to take action and to commit yourself. So I think that's about it. I mentioned every planet, I hope. Yes, I think I did. Thank you a lot for watching, you Scorpios. Wish you all the best for 2013, and see you soon. Bye bye.